The secret world of Freemasons hides many mysteries. There are bizarre rituals, mystic symbols, and strange costume dramas that climax in make-believe murder.
Then die.
But beneath these seemingly silly robes, and behind these phony beards, there's a more ominous riddle. The enigma of Masonic power. Freemasonry has been woven into the fabric of power and politics since the 18th century. It has influenced revolutions from Boston to Paris to Istanbul, and permeated the highest echelons of science, business, and the arts.
Most of the time, when people try to describe what Freemasonry is, they have a hard time doing it. And so what they end up doing is falling back on telling you people who have been members. And you say, well, you know, Ben Franklin was a Mason, or George Washington was a Mason.
In most countries, the people who are in power, mostly they are Freemasons. For some reason, that's how it happened. It happened in the United States, in England, and all over the world.
Although it's supposed to be an organization devoted to brotherhood and equality, it nevertheless is something that has very socially stratified.
In the United States, 14 of our presidents have been Freemasons. If it's good enough for George Washington, then it's good enough for me.
We're about to explore how Freemasonry has shaped our world and created a parallel world of its own. To find out how, we will enter the Masonic Temple to reveal the sometimes chilling links between the world's most prominent and secretive fraternity and the most powerful men in the world. January 1989 in Washington, D.C. George Herbert Walker Bush swears the oath of office and becomes President of the United States. Millions are watching, but there's one thing that they do not see. The Bible that Bush holds is filled with mysterious signs and symbols, known only to the members of a secretive society. It is the same Bible that George Washington used for his oath 200 years earlier. The Bible's pages are encoded with Masonic hieroglyphics, the secret alphabet of the world's oldest and most powerful social and spiritual order. An order whose roster of the rich and powerful has included Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Sir Winston Churchill, and England's King Edward VIII. Today, the Venerable Brotherhood includes women and men, blacks and whites, ministers, Muslims, and rabbis. It has a membership as rich and diverse as actor Michael Richards, better known as Cosmo Kramer on Seinfeld, country music megastar Brad Paisley, and the Reverend Al Sharpton. Scroll back in time, and the history of the order is a panorama of pride and progress. While Mozart was writing his Masonic opera The Magic Flute, a French Mason named Guillotine was inventing a killing machine to chop off royal heads. While the Wright brothers were taking flight, Masons named Chrysler, Olds, and Ford were inventing the automobile industry. Colt and Gatling were modernizing war's most terrible weapons. And Freemasons were taking control of the movies, thanks to Louis B. Mayer at MGM, Jack Warner at Warner Brothers, and Darryl Zanuck at 20th Century Fox. There were entertainment and sports superstars, from Clark Gable and John Wayne to Harry Houdini and Mel Blanc, the voice of Porky Pig. Abbott, but not Costello. Men whose names became household words. Ty Cobb and Arnold Palmer. Buzz Aldrin and Dave Thomas. In Washington, the seat of political power, 8 years after his own father swears the presidential oath on George Washington's Bible, the Freemasons refused to let his son, George W., use the same irreplaceable book because it is raining. But a presidential inauguration is just one of the many events with the cryptic undertones of a secretive order that is older than the presidency and older than the American Republic itself. It is the most powerful city in the most powerful country on earth, home to its most powerful leaders. This is the American headquarters of Scottish Rite Freemasonry, a branch of the order that traces its origins back hundreds of years. Outside, Masonic temples are often monumental. Inside, a hidden realm of images and icons, marble and myth.
I am Akram Elias, a Freemason, currently the Senior Grand Warden of the Grand Lodge of Free and Accepted Masons of Washington, D.C. We're entering the space that is most important in Freemasonry, the lodge room. What happens in a lodge room? Why do people have certain ideas about Freemasonry? What do Freemasons do in a lodge room? Is it a secret society? Are they plotting to take over the world? What takes place here? Central to the furniture of a lodge is the altar. This altar, on it you will find in an operating lodge the volume of the sacred law. What does that mean? It is basically a reference to whatever holy books that the members of the lodge believe in. In my Mother Lodge, for example, you will find the Holy Bible, the Tanakh, which is the Hebrew writings. You will find the Holy Quran for Muslims. You will find the books for those who believe in Buddha, etc. So whatever religion is or religions are represented. It is at the altar that the initiate takes his obligation as a Freemason. You notice there are three, what we call three lesser lights here around the altar. When the candidate is being initiated, it is dark. And when he sees the light, those three lesser lights help him see what is here. The volume of the sacred law and the universal symbol of Freemasonry, the square and the compasses. Very important to Freemasonry. The compasses are the instrument that help a Mason learn that he is at the center of the creation. That's the point, the first point of the circle. And you use the compasses to draw a circle around you, and the idea being that you need to circumscribe your desires. When dealing with others, don't go into extremes. Extremism is bad. Be moderate. And you need to figure out who you are to know how large, how big the set of compasses are. The square is a symbol of wisdom. And why wisdom? Because it brings together the concept of equality, equal sides, and rectitude, 90-degree angles. Using wisdom,